Hello, what is up? This is alertwolf here to bring you another review. And this time, it's going to be a Blast of Tempest, I believe, episode 23 and 24. Sorry about that. Forgot what episode I was on, it's been so long. And, basically, it's been so long since I got to do it. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Let me, before I get into the review, I'm just going to say this. My schedule is as follows. I said on my previous video I was releasing an Iron Man 3 review. Now, the problem with that is it was done. I was uploading it. My hard drive fell. It broke. And now I have all this information stuck on my hard drive and I can't get it out. I ordered a part to repair it. Hopefully I can get it up by this weekend. If not, it'll take a little longer. That's the other reason why these reviews aren't up early in the week. It's just I've been searching for a lot of the data that I used to, like the background music, the little logo and stuff to put together these videos have been missing. So I've been trying to find it, and I have. So I have found backups of that stuff. Now, for some reason, my account is finally 90% good. All the strikes have been removed, so I can do long videos. So I'm basically just going to do a long video, one on Blast of Tempest, and I'm going to do all my old stuff to catch me up before I start on the new stuff. Now, and they're going to be long videos, guys, I'm sorry, because it's just going to talk about what I missed. I believe, this one's it's going to be on 2 episodes, but, that's just how it's going to go down, and then I'm going to release the new stuff, so bear with me. Now, again, my channel is 90% restored. There is, for some reason, I don't have access to custom thumbnails. Now, I don't know why that is, because all the copyright strikes have been removed from my account, so everything should have been brought back up to good standing, and everything is, except thumbnails. But I'm going to email them and figure out why I can't do that, and it's very vague. I freaking hate YouTube. If you have a problem with YouTube, trying to get in touch with somebody to help is really hard. But anyway. Alright, so basically we're in the final phase. 23 and 24, it can be broken down not even between episodes, but between the climactic battle that takes place, the planning for the battle and the battle, and then after the climax, the wrap-up. And we'll say this about this show. Again, I really did like the central theme of no villains, and that's pretty much what happened. So the plan is as follows. My hero comes up with a plan to do what he has to do. Basically, the plan is to get the Mage of Exodus to the tree of Genesis and have it mess it up. Now, the problem is, there is a barrier of international Navy ships protecting the Tree of Genesis. And if you get too close to the Tree of Genesis, even though the other mages are mages of Genesis, their powers won't work because the tree can sense their will. And so what happens is, Mihiro's plan is to have Hagase and the mage switch costumes and fight each other in reverse. So people think the Princess of Genesis, the dancing princess is the one saving them, but meanwhile it's the Mage of Exodus. It's an ingenious plan. Meanwhile, the rest of them covertly underwater start taking over ships. See, what he's going to end up doing is drawing the battle and drawing the ships away from the tree. And that's what goes down. Now, the action in this sequence is pretty good, even though they're basically sparring with each other. Then midway through the battle, once they've evacuated enough ships, the idea is for them to switch, to have the mage or the dancing princess switch places. And he does with one of the other guys, the guy with the tattoo on his eye. So they switch places, and now poor guy, he has to battle the princess, which is tough because even with her holding back, he's really, he's no match for the princess. So that goes on, and then the mage swim towards underwater is swimming towards the tree. Now basically at this point, all the major players in this story are all united in this one goal to defeat the Tree of Exodus, or the Tree of Genesis, before it's too late. Mahiro and Yoshino also agree to go on this mission. Not so much agree to it, demand to be a part of it. Even though they helped plan it, they needed to see this thing through. Now, the others didn't want to go through with it because these guys don't have any special training. They don't have any magic powers, per se. And nobody can guarantee their safety. But, our two stubborn main dudes are getting a part of this. And then our Mage of Exodus, he's a little bit whiny and he's nervous. He doesn't think he can pull this off. What if he fails? So at one point, he had handed Mahiro a letter to his chick, or to the chick that left him, explaining what happened. And he rips it up. He's like, listen, if you don't make it, we've lost, and so she's dead anyway. And he's like, no, but what if it's one of these all-out final attacks and we both die? He goes, what's the point of dying? And so, yeah. So these are some of the thoughts going through their heads. The battle against the tree begins, and he starts going at the tree, but he's really outclassed. Because here he is at the tree's main zone, basically. He's the furthest away he could be from his power base. But he's still fighting the tree, and he's going all at it. The fighting between the princess and the Navy is pretty awesome. I mean, she loses an arm. She's sacrificing the missiles they're throwing at her. She's hitting them with swords. And using it to regenerate. She's pretty awesome. Now at the end of the last step, at the end of 23, they did surprise us by nearly making us think Yoshino gets shot and killed after they take one of the boats and gets the boats out of there. He gets shot, and even then they leave you with that little cliffhanger in that episode. Now, I'm going to stop right here and just give you my breakdown, my rating for this particular episode 23, seeing as how I've covered pretty much all of 23. 23, the action was great, the planning was great, we're advancing the story forward, it's building up, and even left us with a really good cliffhanger, thinking one of the boys may have died. So, and they're losing. So, on this front, I'm going to give this episode a 5 out of 5. It was really good. It was one of the best action paces and great fighting scenes, and it is really good. So, it's very much building us towards the climax, and you're so looking forward to episode 24 when this happens. Alright, so that was that. Now let's go into episode 24. So, you find out Yoshino wasn't killed, but wounded in the arm. They took care of the guy responsible. They emptied the clip. They patched up his arm, and he's like, "Oh, this is what getting shot feels like." And the boys are joking, and they're just worried. They're hoping what's his face can do the job. Princess battles more with the Navy, and again, it's looking like our boy, the Mage of Exodus, is gonna lose. But then something badass happens. The Tree of Genesis, or the Tree of Exodus. Woo! The Tree of Exodus has done it again, and we get the Tree of Exodus turning into the Sword of Exodus, teleporting right to him. We're talking the tree became a giant sword. It's really big, and he just lays into that tree, and people are like, "Oh, it's the," and they call it the Sword of Exodus, and it's so badass. I was loving every second of that. He plunges it into the tree, he chops it in half, and folks, if I ever do get my my custom thumbnails back, that's what I chose to make my custom thumbnail out of, which is the tree splitting being split in half by the power of the Mage of Exodus and the Sword of Exodus, and it is awesome. And the tree gets destroyed, and as the tree's being destroyed, it's kind of beautiful. It turns into like blue energy butterflies and starts flying away, and ding dong, the witch is dead, you know. And that's the end of the battle. So, and that's it now. But that's pretty much half the episode, and then the other half of the episode is the wrap up of the stories. Now, I hate it when sometimes shows just end after the climax and you get no wrap up, or you get very little wrap up. This show had a lot of wrap up, which I like, because, you know, I want to see what happens to these characters. And so we get it. The Mage of Exodus, he's like cleaning up and you know, cleaning up the apartment. He's gonna bounce when he finds out about excuse me, he finds out that his chick wants to see him. He's so happy. He's gonna go meet her, and she is some chick with dark hair. They never do show us what she looks like, but you know, that's a good ending. Meanwhile, Evangeline and it's funny. Now Evangeline's a little, you get the idea she's a little bit of a hornball, a little bit, and so is June, which is funny. And so I mean, and they're joking around, and Simone and the spare user guy are there, and they're like, we're gonna have to keep our guards up around her. And she's like, oh, don't ignore me. And she goes after them, you know. And June's like, wait, but you're ignoring me. I'm all about hooking up with you, girl. Come on, we can hook up. I'm right here. I'm a ninja master. What's up? So, you know, you get that kind of wrap up, and Kasaragi clan are gonna work for Evangeline's boss and become part of the, their Ministry of Defense spy network, and you know, they're gonna work there, and that's pretty good. So there you go. You get the integration, even though there is no more magic in the world because both trees have been destroyed. You know, you get everybody's moving forward with their lives. I mean, billions of people died. Let's be real. Like, I think 1 billion people died. But they did manage to save the world. And then we get some more wrap up. The princess decides to leave, to leave the village because she's like, I'm not even magical. And then the old biddies are making fun of her. No, you're not even an ordinary woman. You're worse. You can't cook. You can't clean. Like, you're horrible. And but we all know who she's going after. She's going to go find Yoshino. Yoshino and Mahiro are on the train together. Their wrap-up is pretty good. They're on the train. They're going back. They're talking about what they need to do and talking about going to school and getting an education and, you know, doing. And Mahiro wants to change the world for the better, even though saving it's just the beginning. Then Yoshino plays back Aika's message for them, which is pretty funny. It's a video message. She fucks with them. She had entrusted them with the world, and she knew that they were gonna get the job done. And so, you know, she basically tells them that. And at the end, she says she gives Mahiro permission to punch Yoshino 3 times, and then she also fucks with them at the very end. She's like, all right, I'm gonna let you guys see me naked. And she goes to pull up the skirt, and it's a joke. You know, she obviously doesn't do it. And she's like, I got you guys. But she does explain how she felt about both of them. She does explain how with Yoshino, the first guy that let her feel like a regular girl, basically, someone who wasn't afraid of her, and, you know, helped her feel like an ordinary girl, somebody in love. So there you go. And as for Yoshino, she's like, you made me feel like a real younger sister, you know, like you took care of me, you treated me like a real brother would treat a sister. and so she loved both of them. So all right, so there's that part of the wrap up. They go to her grave and they're talking, and he's like, she was an idiot. This is Mahiro going. He's like, that she always thought of herself as part of somebody else's script. That's why she loved Shakespeare so much. But he's like, I don't care, but I'm not gonna let some player, some other people's script run me. I don't care if it's Hamlet or the Tempest. None of that judged my story, and this is her mistake. She shouldn't have done what she did. She should have just moved forward, and we would have helped her. Basically, is what he's saying. And then, Mahiro, Yoshino loves to push Mahiro's buttons. So he's constantly rubbing it in that he was dating her and they were hooking up, and he made it seem like they were having sex, even though they obviously never did. And so eventually he gets him to, he goats him into punching him, and he does. He goes, ow, because remember, she did say I was allowed to hit you 3 times, and so there's all that play there going on, and they're constantly talking and it's just pretty funny. And as they're walking down the stairs, Mahiro notices somebody getting out of a cab, and he tells Yoshino, and there's the princess. And now that Yoshino's finally able to move past her death, him and the princess can move forward because he can finally move forward. So that was pretty cool. And that's the end of the anime, them hooking up and getting together, which is what everybody wanted anyway. And wait, I almost forgot. Mahiro said during this whole shit, during one of the chicks he saved or whatever, or he kind of got her number. She was cute, and he has like a date after this. So yeah, everybody. The moral of the story is everybody gets somebody. I mean, it's just. Oh, and I forgot, the Evangeline's boss has the dude with the tattoo over his eye as his driver, and he's like, if someone says to kill you, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, yeah, whatever, we'll see. Stop being grumpy. So yeah, everybody gets somebody at the end of this thing, except for poor June. I don't know why June doesn't get no love, but it's all pretty good. This episode, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I love the action in the first half of the episode, the climax of the whole story, and I love wrap-ups. I'm just one of those guys that love wrap-ups. Now, what am I gonna give this whole series? The series in general, I'm gonna give the series in general a 4 out of 5. It was very intellectual. The action was always good. The animation was always superb. The music in it was really good. It didn't overweigh you down with supposition. The way they brought it in was always good. The story really never had a villain in it. I always liked that. And it was just people trying to save the world the only way they knew how. And in the beginning of the show, they had that argument how to do it. But once they were all on board together, they did what they had to do to get the job done. And that's what it is. Their goals may have been diverging, but in the end they all converged. You know what I mean? In the beginning they may have been divergent, but in the end they all converged into the single goal of saving humanity, and they managed to succeed. So I really liked this anime. I really loved it. And it's a shame it got me into so much trouble, apparently. So before I go, just a little recap on some of the other stuff. If you notice at the beginning of all my new videos from now on, there is gonna be a little warning page. It's just what I'm doing now, because reviewing anime has become dangerous on YouTube, and until YouTube protects its content providers, this is basically what you're gonna have to do to protect yourself. There's no other way around it. I'm sorry to say, but let's see. So like I said, I'm gonna put this video out. Hopefully, sometime this weekend I'll put out the Iron Man video, because it's been done. All I have to do is upload it. So hopefully my hard drive is repaired. Alright, so let me just give you guys the schedule of the next videos that I'm going to be putting out. So, obviously Blast of Tempest is first. My next video is going to be on Katura-san. Actually, no. Don't I always say Katura-san for last? I'll take that back. My next video is probably going to be on Heideken 8 Dogs of the East to finish up that show. It's going to be from episodes 11 through 13, so I'm going to knock that out. Then I'm going to give you Katura-san, episode 11 and 12. Although I may do that one first. Next, I'm going to try to catch up on some. I'm gonna do Hunter x Hunter. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna catch up on the end of the Green Island and give you that, and then start on the new arc to catch myself up. So there may be 2 videos for that. I may just break that down at the beginning of the new arc as a different video. So yeah. And then after that, I'm going to do, what else am I doing? I'm trying to think offhand. The next one I'm doing is obviously Green Blood. I may do multiple chapters in one take, or I might just do them individually, because I'm only behind 2 or 3 chapters, so I may just do, and they're quick videos anyway. You know, they're like 7 to 10 minute videos, so I may just break them down. And then once that's done, we're gonna get into, I'm gonna release my new animes probably next week. So Attack on Titan, I think it's up to like episode 5, probably halfway before I start on it. And again, like I said, I'm gonna start on the episode I'm on and quickly talk about the show. Now the good thing about Attack on Titan is I've been saving it for my review, so I haven't watched any of it yet. But as for the other, in that one, I had already told people I was going to do it ahead of time. Oh, you know what? And I'm also going to catch up on Transformers too. So that'll come before the new stuff, or I think that'll be the first thing we do with the new stuff. The other fall anime show, spring anime show I'm doing is Erita the Legend. Yeah, and then because that one kind of reminds me of Kiba, and I really liked Kiba. I ended up buying it. Haneko, the hentai, and the Stone Cat. I'm gonna review this one. It's gonna be the comedy series that I do, and I am on the fence because the one I want to do is Valrave the Liberator as my mecha anime, but I don't want to do anything Aniplex or Sony does, even though I love the anime they put out. And this is my favorite by far of the mecha anime that has come out. I don't support them because they don't support me, basically, or support us as a community. So I'm on the fence in doing that one. But the other one I did want to do, if I didn't do that, would have been Majestic Prince. And I did like that. So you're definitely going to get those animes out of me. And starting next week, I'm going to give you the new stuff. Like I said, I would have preferred at this point in the week to have been done with most of my stuff, but my hard drive broke, and I've been having to redo a lot of these videos. So, alright, well that's enough out of me, and click it up if you like it, comment if you must, please subscribe to me if you can, and it's good to be back. I'm out.